Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. RHOP Karen Huger upsets Gizelle Bryant with hurtful event timing. One thing about RHOP is that it never fails to bring the drama. Season 9 is starting off strong with new beef between Karen Huger and Gizelle Bryant over two events that were going on at the same time. Based on the context of the situation, this incident might cause an end to their friendship, which was already hanging on by a thread. Read on to find out what happened. Karen Huger and her two-event disaster. It all started in the second episode of Season 9, when Gizelle Bryant and Ashley Darby, also known as Gina A., told the girls that they were throwing an event. In addition to spotlighting their joint apparel line, the event was also going to be a nod to Gizelle's father, Curtis Graves. He died last year, and this was going to be a nod to him and his legacy. After hearing Bryant discuss the details behind the occasion, Karen decided to invite the girls to another event, which just so happened to start at the same time. Huger was suddenly expected to accept an award, and she wanted her co-stars to be there. The group initially called Darby to give her the heads up that they chose to go to Karen's award show first. Because of the DC traffic, they initially predicted that they wouldn't even get to the Gina A event until 8:30, even though it ended at 9. When Ashley relayed the message to Gizelle, she was fuming. Bryant began calling the girls rude and snapped that if they couldn't show up at a respectable time, that they shouldn't come at all. Ultimately, only a few of the cast members were able to make it to the Gina A spectacle in time, but by that moment, Bryant already felt betrayed not only by them, but also by Karen. Their insane relationship. This isn't the first time that Gizelle and Karen have been at odds. Every so often they seem to be becoming close friends, but most of the time they are total enemies. No fan could ever forget the Season 3 moment when Karen decided to bring the ex-wife of Bryant's now former boyfriend on camera. Likewise, jaws dropped in the same Season 9 episode of the two-event fiasco, when Gizelle poked fun at Huger's recent DUI. When Karen announced that she was receiving an award, Bryant joked that it had to be for driving into a tree, referencing her co-star's drunken damage. Needless to say, this double-event disaster is just the icing on the cake to years of a rivalry between the two housewives. Fans have chosen a side. Right after the Season 9 Episode 2 premiere, viewers rushed to social media to share their reactions to the battle of events. Unanimously, people agreed that the entire incident was the result of Huger not being understanding of the gravity of Gizelle's event. In the glamorous world of Potomac, where opulent mansions, breathtaking views, and endless drama define the lives of its real housewives, there is rarely a moment of peace. And when it comes to the formidable Karen Huger and her often tumultuous relationship with fellow housewife Gizelle Bryant, the tension is always bubbling just beneath the surface, waiting to erupt. This time, the latest storm centers around an event hosted by Karen, a seemingly benign occasion that turned into a lightning rod of hurt feelings, particularly for Gizelle. The Real Housewives of Potomac, RHOP, have never been strangers to conflict, but Karen Huger's latest move managed to strike a chord with Gizelle in a way that few others have. Known as the Grand Dame of Potomac, Karen is often viewed as regal, poised, and always in control. Her events are meticulously planned, always grandiose, and often serve as a stage for more than just dinner and cocktails. They are battlegrounds for the power struggles between the ladies of Potomac. But this particular event, which Karen had organized with her usual flair, seemed to carry with it an undercurrent that Gizelle couldn't ignore. The timing of the event was what initially raised eyebrows. While at first glance it appeared to be just another social gathering on the Potomac circuit, those in the know could see that the date held significance, a significance that didn't sit well with Gizelle. What made the situation even more volatile was that Karen appeared either oblivious to the timing or, worse, indifferent to the impact it would have on her so-called friend. The date Karen chose for her event clashed with a personal milestone for Gizelle, something deeply tied to her own family and history. Whether it was a birthday, a commemoration, or a more private affair, Gizelle felt that Karen should have been more sensitive to it. The tension between them had simmered for years, but this incident felt like more than just an accidental scheduling conflict. To Gizelle, it felt like a deliberate slight, a hurtful gesture wrapped in the guise of social niceties. From Gizelle's perspective, Karen had once again made a move that seemed to reinforce their ongoing rivalry. Though they had moments of reconciliation over the seasons, their friendship had always been a fragile one, teetering on the edge of collapse. Karen, the queen bee of Potomac, often seemed to glide above the drama, while Gizelle, never one to back down from a fight, usually found herself in the thick of it. But this latest incident cut deeper than the usual snide remarks or passive-aggressive jabs. Gizelle's reaction was immediate and visceral. Hurt and disappointed, she didn't hold back when voicing her feelings about Karen's lack of consideration. In classic RHOP fashion, the foul-up didn't remain behind closed doors for long. As the rest of the cast caught wind of the drama, lines were quickly drawn. Some sided with Karen, insisting that the timing was a mere coincidence and not a calculated insult, while others understood Gizelle's pain and sympathized with her emotional response. For Gizelle, this was about more than just an event, it was about respect. She had long felt that Karen had a tendency to dismiss her feelings or overlook important moments in her life. Whether intentional or not, the timing of the event seemed to confirm her suspicions, that Karen didn't really see her as an equal, much less as a true friend. This realization stung, bringing up a host of unresolved issues between the two women. Karen, on the other hand, was quick to defend herself. To her, the timing of the event was purely logistical. She had a schedule to maintain, and it wasn't as if she had deliberately chosen the date to upset Gizelle. As far as Karen was concerned, this was yet another instance of Gizelle overreacting and turning a small issue into a full-blown drama. Karen's position was clear: she hadn't meant any harm, and if Gizelle was offended, that was more a reflection of her own insecurities than any ill intent on Karen's part. But as with most disputes on RHOP, the truth wasn't so simple. The history between Karen and Gizelle added layers of complexity to what might have otherwise been an easy-to-resolve issue. Their relationship had always been fraught with competition, jealousy, and unspoken resentments, and while both women had moments of vulnerability and connection, it seemed that those moments were easily eclipsed by the larger-than-life personalities and egos at play. As the drama unfolded on screen, fans of the show were divided. Some saw Karen's actions as nothing more than an innocent oversight, while others sided with Gizelle, arguing that Karen's behavior was indicative of a larger pattern of insensitivity. Social media buzzed with speculation and debate, with viewers weighing in on whether Karen had gone too far this time. As the weeks passed, the tension between Karen and Gizelle only intensified. The fallout from the event rippled through their friend group, with other housewives being pulled into the fray, forced to pick sides or navigate the tricky waters of neutrality. Alliances shifted, friendships were tested, and the Potomac social scene was once again a cauldron of drama. In true RHOP fashion, what could have been a minor scheduling conflict became a symbol of much deeper issues. For Gizelle, it was about feeling respected and seen. For Karen, it was about maintaining her position as the Grand Dame without bowing to the whims of others. Neither woman was willing to back down, and as the season progressed, it became clear that this latest spat was just the beginning of a much larger power struggle. Ultimately, the question remained: was Karen truly oblivious to the impact of her actions, or had she, in typical Grand Dame fashion, orchestrated the event knowing full well what it would mean to Gizelle? And more importantly, could their friendship survive yet another blow, or was this the beginning of the end for one of RHOP's most iconic duos? Only time would tell. But one thing was certain: where Karen Huger and Gizelle Bryant were concerned, the drama was far from over.